Hey there, Aquarius. Cat Star here with a special new moon in Aquarius reading. Now, I don't normally do or always do new moon or full moon readings, but this one has really kind of the energy of it has caught my attention. So I am going to do the Aquarius new moon in Aquarius reading and a collective new moon in Aquarius reading. I want to tell you that when I first stepped into or tuned into the collective Aquarius energy, and I have to be very honest here, I'm very much not a sugarcoater in real life, and so that probably comes through in my readings as well. But when I first stepped into the collective Aquarius energy, I felt very, very tight, almost like my shoulders were scrunched up into my throat. There was some tension, pain in my head, and I felt like I wasn't breathing, like I was literally physically holding my breath. Okay. So as I continued to tune into and step in deeper into the energy, I felt this release. My shoulders like dropped and relaxed, and I took in this big gasp of air. And so the energy that's coming through for this Aquarius new moon is that right now, during this time, is a time to be kind of cutting cords and taking a fresh breath. Okay. The new moons are times for setting intentions. Some of you may not have ever set intentions before. You may have just been kind of going through life, just kind of going with whatever's happening, not really setting intentions or setting goals or having any idea or coming up with the ideas of what it is that you're wanting, where you're going, kind of what you're really creating. And so that is coming through as kind of setting those intentions. Today is the first day of February as well, a perfect day, right? It's a new month starting with kind of a new clean slate again of sorts. Each month we can do that, and each day we can do that, of course. But February here is really, really kind of tuning into you, cutting cords. You can hear potentially my stomach growling, just that the message is spot on. Cutting cords and really taking kind of a fresh breath in during this time. So what we're going to do is Spirit has indicated that we're going to get 4 of the tarot cards, 2 angel cards, and a closing card. So maybe, not as many cards, though it really just depends on what it feels that I am being called for each reading. So I don't really have kind of a standard. I don't really have whatever. I just really tune into what is being asked for each reading, or being kind of guided, or I'm being guided to for each reading. And that is what we do. So as just kind of an indicator potentially for some of you, to be a reminder through the way that the readings are done, at least on this channel. Yes, this came out in the pre-shuffles. I knew, because this energy is so strong, this devil energy. I'm so excited it came out for this reading. And I know for some that energy is pretty heavy, but it is coming through in a gorgeous way, and so much needed for us Aquarius during this time. So, all right, one more card here. Ooh, actually, I guess Spirit decided on, yes. Oh, it always makes me so happy to see the 6 of Wands, my magic card. Okay, Spirit decided 3 needed to be there. So there's that. Gorgeous. What was I saying? Oh, the difference in the readings from reading to reading on this channel, at least, is more to serve as a reminder that it doesn't need to be one set way. There's no right way, no wrong way with anything in life. There's ideas that we hold, there's beliefs that we hold, there's limitations, there's rules. If you watch the timeless reading from yesterday on the channel, an urgent message that you need to know right now, I think is what it's titled, then we kind of went into that a little bit. If you haven't, go ahead and check that out. I'll probably link it at the end of this video so that you can if you haven't, but there isn't a right or wrong. There isn't one steadfast way. Nothing is set in stone. And you can do readings, you can do life in the way that works for you, and you can be flexible. You can switch it up, flip it up, change it all of the time. It doesn't mean that something is one way is right, one way is wrong, or that the way that certain people do it is wrong and the way you do it is right. It is however works for you in the moment, and flexibility is huge. Being able to, with myself, with my connection with spirit, with the card readings, it's more about tuning in, for me at least, tuning into the energy that is necessary or needed for a specific reading, and doing it that way, and trusting that no matter how I do the readings, no matter how many cards there are, that the message that is meant to come through will and does. Okay, so just a little reminder for those of you sometimes that feel very stuck, there you can be very flexible. There's really not a right way or a wrong way to do things. It just depends on each one of us and kind of what choices we make. Okay, so we're gonna go get 2 angel cards here now as well. I thought that was only going to be 4 cards, and Spirit busted out 2 extras at the end there. All right. Oh, I love that one. Okay, one more. And the closing card we're not going to do to the very end. So, see? 3 again. Spirit has got 3s on the mind. Okay, yeah. Wow, really, really kind of following suit here for this. So So it was going to be 6 cards, and now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll end up with 11, a beautiful, gorgeous number. I love 11s. Okay, of course. All right. So 3s, we're going to do 3s because these came out in 3s. This is creativity, achievement, promise of success. So there is, with these 2 examples here that Spirit has given, instead of the 1 card, has given 3 cards twice. So overall, Spirit really wants this reading to indicate that there is success. There's a promise of success with this achievement, with creativity. So know that. Okay, now you start out here with the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords is coming in kind of to save the day. This is the pursuit of excellence, this reminder that as we are kind of cutting cords, releasing things, right, setting the intentions of what it is that we are choosing now in this moment, that there is kind of this saving, like that breath of air out, that fresh breath, right, coming in to save the day, coming in to really be in that pursuit of excellence, not ever perfection. It's so funny. I was actually writing just a little bit earlier, and I wrote perfectly, and then I thought, do I actually believe in perfection? Because we see so much on social media during this time. We see this highlight reel often, that sort of thing. This idea of perfection can cause some distress at times, but the pursuit of excellence within our life is very, very kind of a moving energy, a beautiful energy, an embracing energy. Perfection sometimes makes us feel like we cannot ever measure up, and that is not true. So cutting cords around that idea that there is, for starters, if you believe in perfection, please continue to believe in perfection. That is beautiful for you, just in a way that is not causing you heartache or sorrow or this idea of not measuring up, because that is not ever true. You are here and who you were meant to be when you were created, and you always measure up. Okay, so there's that. And then we also have the 7 of Pentacles, and that 7 of Pentacles is coming in kind of as a reminder that as you grow, that you reap your rewards. This is really kind of a card of comfort coming in here. So growth, releasing, detaching, cutting cords, and allowing yourself to release, as in releasing your shoulders from your neck or feeling like they're in your throat, and to breathe, to exhale, to breathe in kind of new life. This is really reaping what you kind of sow, right? So this is a comfort card coming in to remind you here that by releasing, you get to open up to new. So cutting the cords, letting things go that are no longer fostering or serving you, is cultivating more space and this opening within setting intentions, if you do choose to, of creating what it is that you do want. Now, we also have the Devil card here, and the Devil card talks about addictions of sorts. And it's so funny that this card came out in the pre-shuffle and is coming out now, because the energy of this new moon in Aquarius is that of releasing any kind of addictions. Addictions can come in many, many forms. And it's interesting that actually today, February 1st here, is my 18 month sober anniversary. I got sober 18 months ago. Now, I wasn't like a very huge, I mean, I wouldn't even classify myself as like an alcoholic or that sort of thing, but I was kind of a vodka mom, right? And at the beginning and during the pandemic, it became this day drinking became normal, and it wasn't kind of stigmatized. It was kind of what everybody was doing, and I almost followed in suit, right? And then I had to decide again. I had to choose again. I had to really think about if that was the road I wanted to go down or to continue down, or if I was ready to let that go. And I did. Now, here's the thing that Spirit really wants to come through. We do not have to wait, Aquarius, until it's painful to make changes. A lot of times there's that rock bottom. A lot of times it gets so painful that there is no choice left. You always have a choice, and Spirit really wants that to come through. This is, again, cutting those cords and taking a fresh new breath, setting intentions toward what it is that you want, knowing that the impossible becomes possible during this time and moving forward for you. So if you have anything that feels like it could be a pattern or an addiction of any sort, whether this is eating for comfort, right? Kind of comfort food, if this is like a sex addiction, if this is alcohol, drugs, kind of codependency, whatever it is, this is cutting the cords to that, making that decision, setting that intention, and allowing, taking that fresh new breath in and allowing yourself to move through it, right? These people in this card, they have chains around their necks, but those are very loose, depicting or putting kind of that idea out there that those can be removed via the choices and the actions that we choose to make. So choose during this time, set the intentions during this time to release any kind of addictions, anything that might be holding you back, okay? The Devil is really very much, and this is about kind of almost a frustration. Also, some of you are potentially feeling frustrated with where you are. Cut the cords. Allow yourself to release that, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, if this is something that you need professional help with, do seek that professional help. Please do seek that professional help, because some quote unquote addictions, no matter how they come through, are things that we really do need support with, things that we do need somebody to help us through, right? When I decided to quit drinking, I had journaled about it for quite a long while. And, you know, for several times prior to actually quitting or becoming sober, I had kind of slipped back and forth, and sometimes that happens. So don't be too hard on yourself. I also did it without even speaking a word to anybody about it. I very much kept it to myself, okay? And then after 6 months or 8 months had lapsed, of course, people started noticing, yes, but also then I began to speak about it. I also kept myself away from and out of situations where, gatherings, family gatherings, that sort of thing, where I knew that alcohol might be present or, in play during that time, so that there wasn't that feeling or that urge or that want to do it. But I also started a different, not this YouTube channel, but another one that exact same day to redirect my energy, to put my energy, my focus, my attention onto building something new. So a lot of times when we take something away, it feels, like we're losing something, like we're missing something. Like I felt like, oh, I'm going to be bored. What the heck am I going to do with my time? What am I? So I redirected, I refocused that energy, that attention into something that was building and creating something for not only myself, but for my family and the future. And, really never looked back. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't times where I think about it, but I right off the bat, very first thing, as soon as a thought about anything going back to that or alcohol, drinking of any sort, I redirect that energy and I focus my attention towards building or doing something else, so I'm not sitting idly in it. Okay, that's a huge thing. If you need help with whatever this is, whatever that addiction may be for you, and you feel like maybe aren't at a point right now to do it on your own, please do seek help and really conquer that, because you have this card down here. We're going to finish with these ones, but it's up to you to decide. Nobody can do the work for you. Nobody can release things for you. Nobody can bring that comfort to you in that way or fill up that space, whatever it is that feels empty, right? I was just bored. I, had some stuff that I was potentially trying to shove down or trying to hide from, and was trying to numb it with alcohol, right? But nobody can, the substances, whatever it is, can't bring that comfort to you, as in this comfort card here with the Seven of Pentacles. You have to really do the work. Nobody can do it for you, to be able to be comfortable within yourself. All right, now we do have also the Hanged Man, the High Priestess, and that freaking Victory card. Of course, my favorite card, the Six of Wands, my magic card, my connection card, all of those things. I did a reading last week, I think, which was the very first time that it ever came out, but it's coming out here just to signify just how important, for starters, this message is, that connection that you have, that we all have. This is my magic, my connection card with spirit. That is there, that there is that success on the other side of this, on cutting those cords and taking that new breath, like this new, fresh opening, beginning life for you on the other side of this. Yes, it does take work. Yes, it takes repetition, consistency, choosing the same thing or choosing again every single day, every moment, that sort of thing. But there is success. Also, we had those two times where the three cards came out when it was just meant to be one, and that three does mean achievement, promise of success. So there is success on the side, on the other side for you, Aquarius, if you do choose to do this. And remember, the impossible becomes possible during this time. Set those intentions, decide what it is. Even if this kind of overcoming or cutting the cords and taking that new fresh breath of air doesn't happen in February, it can be a beginning point, right? When I first decided to get sober, I had journaled about it. And then one day, 18 months ago, I woke up and I have never drank again. Okay, so sometimes it just happens. You have set that intention and you have focused toward it, right? And I had journaled for probably at least a month or more about being sober, right? It helps to have a word that is the opposite or doesn't have the same idea within it. So it doesn't have alcohol, it has sober. It's an opposite word. That's helpful, or what at least it was for me, is anyway. But sometimes it happens very quickly. Setting that intention is telling your subconscious mind, telling the universe, telling spirit that this is what you are intending. This is that intention. This is where you are going. And sometimes it happens just overnight, and sometimes it takes a month or a couple months. Be patient with yourself and trust in that process, and get help. Seek help if you need it, okay? You also have the Hangman, and this is just all about this. This is letting go. This is the High Priestess is about that trust. So you have that letting go here with the Hangman, letting go of whatever it may be, those cords that you're cutting during this time, and the intentions that you're setting, that you're ready to let go of and that you're calling in, and trusting. You also have another trust card right here with the angel cards. So this is just gorgeous energy, and really, really kind of tying everything up as double indicators, and the three, right? Balance, choice. So you have the choices, and you have that promise of success, and the Six of Wands, which is victory. It is success. It is the magic card. It is my connection card, as I've already said. So there is a beautiful victory, beautiful rewards, and comfort, even with that Seven of Pentacles coming through with following this process, and with really tuning into and trusting. The impossible becomes possible for you. Nothing is impossible. Everything is possible for you. And if you're feeling like that is there isn't a possibility of this, tune in to other people who have overcome whatever it might be that you're in the process of deciding to overcome, or setting the intention to overcome, or cutting the cords of, right? And listen to other people's stories. Just like mine here with 18 months sober anniversary today. There is victory, there is success, there is possibility, and it is right here for you, okay? And it's up to you. Another reminder with the double kind of uh, choice cards and the double trust cards. So you're really being asked here during this time, Aquarius, during this new moon in Aquarius, to make a choice, right? If this resonates for you. If it doesn't resonate for you, then leave it, right? As always, my readings are general and for entertainment. Take what is for you, leave what isn't. If this doesn't resonate for you, if this isn't your story, if this isn't your current situation, perfect. It's not. Wonderful. That's excellent. Okay. If it is, then this message really is for you. It's up to you. You get to make the choice. You get to make the decision. And again, you can make that choice, that decision in every single minute, every single day. Also, you're being asked to remain positive. There's a potential that there might be a little bit of dark times. There's a potential that this may, really cause, or require is a better word, you to redirect the energy, to find something, to place that energy, that focus, that attention on, that is actually going to be building towards something that you are choosing, okay? And the situation will improve. So that one goes right on with that. Remain positive card. The situation will improve in the beginning, no matter what it is we are doing. If we are learning something new, if we were disconnecting, letting something go, it does take some work. It does take practice. It does take consistency. It does take making a choice, that decision, sticking with it. So the situation will improve. If it feels like it's difficult for some in the beginning, it will improve. Remain positive. It's up to you. Keep choosing again. And trust yourself, trust the process, trust the connection with spirit, right? You've got the double, and be willing, be open to let go for yourself. When I chose to quit drinking, I knew that I was causing some pain to other people around me through my drinking. I didn't choose, though. I chose to get sober for very selfish reasons, which is another reason why I didn't tell anybody I was doing it. I chose to do it for me, and they got to kind of have that benefit as well. But I didn't choose it for anybody else. I chose it for myself. And in that way, and in keeping it to myself, I couldn't let other people down. And I really had to hold myself accountable, and that was big for me during that process. So, and then after some time had passed, obviously, as I said, people started noticing that I wasn't drinking, but also I was open and ready to talk about it because I had already proved to myself. I didn't need to prove to anybody else, and I wasn't doing it for anybody else, although that was a benefit. I needed to prove to myself and do it for myself, and that's what made all the difference. Anybody saying anything to me just pissed me off. It made me want to drink more. Okay, and I realized that that is a true thing because I went through that myself. So some of you might be going through that and just really needed to hear this message during this time. Okay, and if that is you, please do hit that like button and do share this message. It does help others to be able to see the videos that might not otherwise, and it could help somebody out there. We never know who needs the help, the story, the information, and it's so valuable when we can find resonance with it and find it helpful and share it with somebody else who we feel might as well. All right, let's get the closing card here. This reading went longer than I expected. So you got the Raven Shaman. You are the creator and the magician. Could we wrap that up any more perfect? I really don't think we could. Use your gifts for good, as we talked about earlier. Good, bad, whatever. It just depends on people's perception. So whatever feels good, looks good, works for you is what is good for you. It may not be the same for somebody else, and that is up to them, not you. You got to stay in your own lane. There is power in your wisdom and words. Yes, yes, yes. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void. Okay, so coming up with that, remain positive. The situation is improving again. Claim your place as keeper of the mysteries, and the high priestess coming in there with that connection, the wisdom, and the keeper of mysteries. So until you move through this process, you actually are going to be in what's going to potentially feel like a void or could potentially feel like uncharted territory, depending on how long you have had this kind of cord connected, or this attachment, or this kind of potential addiction. Obviously that's not for everybody, but there's going to potentially be a moment in time, and in the big picture, after the fact, you're going to realize it's only a moment in time, but as you're going through it, it might feel much more than a moment. There is victory on the other side. Use that wisdom and tune into the mystery. Again, the mystery of releasing or cutting that cord, taking that fresh new breath of air, right? Releasing that resistance in whatever way that might show up, whether that is your shoulders scrunched up in your throat, feeling like you are holding your breath and can't breathe, right? That tension in your head and your shoulders, maybe your tongue at the top of your roof of your mouth fixed there, just with such tension and stress. And then on the other side, that mystery, right, of no longer holding that attachment, of cutting those cords, of letting go of any kind of potential addiction, anything that is kind of keeping you small in a way, knowing that the impossible becomes possible for you. Right within that impossible word is I'm possible, you are possible, and there is victory. There is success. There is that promise of success and that victory on the other side. Even if there are moments where you feel like you step back, or you maybe, what is that saying, fall off the wagon, in whatever way that is, however this resonates for you, there is victory. Get back on, step back up, and start again. Take another fresh breath of air. Okay, I do intend this resonated with you and for you. If it did, again, please do hit that like button. It does allow others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise, and share this video if you found value in it. If you feel like it was helpful for you, it could help somebody else out as well. Hit that subscribe button and the bell icon along with that. Check that all notifications little box so that you're notified every time I upload new readings. Also, be sure to check out the urgent message you need to know, or you need to hear right now. I think that's what it was titled. I'll link it here at the end. Timeless reading that went up on the channel yesterday. It's got a lot of information in that, insights, powerful information. And check out the collective new moon in Aquarius reading also that should be coming up later. This one's a lot longer than normal, so it might take a minute to upload. So, but do be on the checkout for that later. As always, I do wish you lots of hope, lots of joy, and lots of love with all of your current and future endeavors. I'll see you in the next reading.